Thank you for giving us the opportunity to get some things put together. Obviously, with the school involved and the families involved, we do appreciate the press's patience with us on that. So what I can tell you is that yesterday at around 3:30 in the afternoon, we were asked to assist the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office, Littleton Police Department, to look for a reported missing person. And I want to tell you right at this point right now, we are not going to share the name of the victim out of the request of the family at this point, and respect to the family members at this point right now. But I will tell you that at 3:30 we started an investigation to search for this student and another student. In between 3:30 and 7:45, there was a tremendous amount of agencies working on attempting to locate these two students. I believe there was a total of 7 law enforcement agencies along the Front Range from the Denver metro area down to Colorado Springs. At 7:45 yesterday evening, the members of the Colorado Springs Police Department, El Paso County Sheriff, and Fountain Police Department, Colorado State Patrol, collectively at one point were in contact with the vehicle that was in question. They did contact a male suspect in that car, subject in that car. That individual, within just moments of the police contact, took his own life inside the car. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office and the El Paso County Coroner's Office are conducting investigation. At that location, the body of a female who was a person we were assisting to look for was also found in that car. We can tell you at this point right now that we are investigating this as a murder-suicide. The suspect of the murder and the person who took his own life was Samuel Hoffman, Hoffman. He was an 18-year-old Littleton High School student. He had been expelled from school in November for a number of events, a domestic violence case that was under investigation, and a mental health hold investigation as well. Our agency was involved in that mental health hold. And that information we shared back and forth, and he was expelled from school. To the best of my knowledge, he did not return to school after November 2019. During the process of the investigation, we have put together information that leads us to believe that around 3:15, the victim in this case left school, which is Mile High Adventist High School, left that school, got into the car with the suspect, and drove across the parking lot into another parking lot. And between 3:15 and 3:30, we believe the suspect murdered our 17-year-old victim. I want to make it very clear that the murder did not happen in the school's parking lot as it was originally thought. It was in an adjacent parking lot outside of their jurisdiction, the school's jurisdiction. I do have a quick statement that the school has asked me to share with the press, and this is a message from the Mile High Academy. It is with profound sadness that the Mile High Academy confirms the loss of one of our students last night. Our hearts go out to the family. We want this family to know that they are in our thoughts and our prayers. Mile High Academy has been working very closely with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office as they continue to investigate this tragedy. Mile High Academy will have grief counselors on hand to help with all the students, staff, and family members with this tragic loss. They ask, and we ask for your prayers for both the students, the staff at Mile High Academy. We also ask that you respect the privacy of the school at this point as they are trying to get their staff and their students back into some normalcy after this event of yesterday. I can tell you that I do want to thank my staff who got on this right away. My special victims unit and major crimes unit we're working on this case and working to help us understand what happened over the last 24 hours. Also, the agencies that assisted us were the Colorado State Patrol, Fountain Police Department, El Paso County Sheriff, El Paso Coroner, the Arapahoe County Sheriff, and the Littleton Police Department. I will answer a few questions, but keep in mind that some of the information at this point right now I cannot share, but I will verify the fact that the murder of our 17-year-old victim did not happen on the school property of Mile High Academy.
What can you tell us about the nature of the relationship between these two?
We know that they had been friends over a period of years, and that at some point their relationship obviously grew stronger, but we do know that they were friends over a period of years.
Does that include a romantic relationship?
That information I don't know. I don't have that information. I do know that he was under investigation for domestic violence with a girlfriend in November, not this victim. So if so, that it was obviously short.
Sure.
Tony?
Can you again confirm the name of the suspect and if he used a weapon to take his life? How did he get that weapon?
Sure. So the name of the suspect is Samuel Hoffman, Hoffman. He's an 18-year-old resident of Centennial, Colorado. He was in possession of a .22 caliber pistol at the time of the investigation in El Paso County. He did take his own life with the use of that pistol. Obviously there's an ongoing investigation of where that weapon came from, how he possessed it. That information is not available at this point.
Are there red flag issues here?
At this point right now, he would not be applicable to red flag in the sense that he's not of age to purchase a gun, or at least a handgun, in the state of Colorado. He could purchase a rifle. At the time of our investigation right now, we're working backwards. We do know that he had 2 contacts since November, and at this point right now, we would not go down that path with the information we have.
Can you explain those 2 contacts, or what can you share about those contacts?
The only thing I can share is that we had a contact for his behavior that conspired on school property at Mile High Academy for a mental health hold, and then he had a separate domestic violence investigation that was out, I believe, the city of Aurora.
Do you have any information on the manner of death for the woman, the victim? I'm sorry,
We do not have a final report on the manner of death from the victim. That is still under investigation by the El Paso County Coroner's Office.
Do you have any information you can share about how officers found the vehicle?
Yes, so we had put out, be on the lookout for this vehicle. That information was shared, obviously, with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. We did have information in regards to phone pings, so we alerted them. They found the car pulled over on the side of the road on I-25, just about the Fountain exit, southern part of Colorado Springs. The car was pulled over on the side of the road. Officers contacted the driver, and in the process of their contact, he took his own life.
Can you confirm a tip that we got that somebody had been shared a photo from the suspect of perhaps the crime and then tipped off officers that led them to start looking for this car? Is there any truth to that?
We had the intelligence information on the car, the suspect that was driving it, and we had shared that information, so we already knew that. Whether there was a photo shared or not, I don't have that information.
Sheriff, I'm going to miss this. Did you say how he got this weapon?
We do not know at this point how he obtained that weapon. We are working with his family members and people that are close to him on how he might have obtained that weapon.
Any idea why he went the direction he did with his car after the victim was killed?
We have no information on why he went south on I-25 at this point. We have no information if he has any family or whatever down there.
Did the female victim suffer a gunshot wound?
That I cannot confirm at this point. The cause and manner of her death is still under investigation by the El Paso County Coroner.
Can you say where in the car she was found?
She was found in the back seat of the car.
Any idea of motive at this point, recognizing it's early, Sheriff?
It is very early. Obviously, the concerns that we would have is that his mental health condition obviously is a concern for ours, and our investigators will be looking very closely into that. We had no information that they were having any kind of issues between each other. That is still ongoing investigation. So at this point right now, this is a horrible tragedy that we are trying to sift through to gather as much information as we can to tell a story.
So
Sheriff,
this
the
time-
missing went out, and obviously you had a lot of law enforcement involved quickly. Can you share with us what created this concern so fast? You were saying 7 or 8 different agencies were involved. What information did you have that made you that concerned to say there could be a problem?
We had information that the suspect had shared on social media his concern about his behavior with the victim. That information was gathered by, obviously, people that followed him under social media. That was immediately shared with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office and the Littleton Police Department, and that consequently was shared with us. And that's how so many agencies got involved very, very quickly to try to locate this vehicle.
Had the victim's family expressed concerns about the suspect before this, or while the search for her was happening? Had they said something about the suspect specifically?
We had no information at this point that anyone was pointing any finger at anyone until the information about the social media.
So right now, there's every indication that she willingly got into the car with this man.
At this point right now, that is the information that we have. Obviously, we're painstakingly watching video of a number of cameras that are around that area to verify that.
Just because I'm not familiar with these locations, the alleged crime off campus from school, but would that have been in your jurisdiction or one of these other agencies that's investigating?
So the area that's of interest right now is at Dad Clark and University, which is in Highlands Ranch. It is to the west of there. There's an RTD parking lot. The school is right very next to the RTD parking lot, and then there is another parking lot and another building to the west, and then there's a starting of a subdivision. So that's the general area of where that area is at, where we're looking at.
We missing anything?
Any other shots fired, Sheriff? At the scene, you said he was in the car and took his own life. Did he shoot at all at any of the responding officers?
No other shots were fired at the officers. The officers did not shoot at him in defense of themselves. And at this point, you know, that is still under investigation by the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. I will close by saying this is a horrible tragedy that happened to two very young people and in our community. I always continue to urge folks that are in the mental health crisis to, and people that know about that, to call. There are a number of places that can be notified in the state of Colorado, to include school districts as well as law enforcement. And our wish is that those things can be reported as soon as possible, so we have the opportunity to intervene in a tragedy like this. So thank you all very much, and I appreciate your time.